Hello. I'm a transfer student from Tri-County. I did my new student dialogue on the power of privilege. And the first question is, did we achieve dialogue? And I think we did, because there was a pretty good amount of discussion, and no one was arguing, and there wasn't a whole lot of disagreement. Everybody pretty much agreed on who got the most privilege and who didn't. And there was some that some people didn't agree on, but no one argued. It was still dialogue. There was we started out when we got there. We did a social identity wheel, which you had to is broken up, and you had to tell what you were in the social identity, and then how important it was to you. And I had Christian as my most important, and some people had other things, but the main goal of that was to see how you see yourself, or how you think everyone else sees you, and then related all that back to privilege. And we split into groups of 3, and we talked to our group about their will and what everything meant to them. And I guess it shows how different people are, because the girl sitting there, she had her religion as the last one, and I had that as my first, and the other guy had it as his first too, or somewhere up there at least. But yeah, so we did that, and then we talked about all the different kinds of discrimination and how that can lead to people having more privilege and not as much privilege. There were active voices in our group. Both the main leaders, the 2 dudes that were in charge of it, they talked a lot, and then there was probably maybe 4 or 5 other guys and girls that they put in their input a lot, even though I didn't agree with some of the stuff they were saying. But I don't know, I just kind of wasn't in the mood for talking a lot. But there's more reserved voices too. That's one of the other questions. It was right before the break. I don't think anybody really wanted to be there, so there was a lot of people just sitting, and most everybody agreed with who got the most privilege and who didn't, based on their social standings and whatnot. And the social groups that we mainly focused on was race, religion, sexual orientation, gender, socio-economic status, age, ability, national origin, and first language. And most everyone agreed that you weren't born in the country, you didn't have as much privilege. That's kind of obvious. And they also said that gay people and transgender people didn't have as much privilege, and also young people, under 21 for the most part. But we did have a few people who felt that minorities didn't get as much privilege. Personally, I don't agree with that. If anything, I feel like they have more privilege, with affirmative action, and business have to hire so many minorities. So you could have the same grades, same status business-wise, and still not get it just because you're not a minority. And I think it should be even. I don't think they should put race in determining who goes to school or who gets hired at all. It should be strictly on how good you are at it, really. But yeah. Then we had we split into groups again. It was groups of 6, and everyone handed out they handed out envelopes of different groups on it, and we had to put our 5 most important, 5 least important on the amount of privilege, who gets the most, who gets the least. And most of those were pretty similar. They put males have more privilege. Once again, I don't know how much I agree with that, but women tend to get better. They get jobs, and it's equal. I don't know. I personally thought that Christians probably got more privilege just because most people in America are Christians. And Americans, that was the top one. Like, in America, if you're an American, you were born here, you get the most privilege. Obvious. One of the questions is Library 100. Oh yeah, why is Library 100 included? No, why is New Student Dialogue included? Why is Library 100 included in your New Student Dialogues? Or vice versa, whatever. And I think it's because it shows people's viewpoints and it encourages open-mindedness. And I'm at 5 minutes, so I can stop now.